all our MECs, mayors, speakers, chief whips, our ambassadors, the Deputy Vice Chancellor of the University of Venda, present here, our MPs and MPLs present here. Amongst us, Honorable Premier, we have got ambassadors from the Republic of Korea. We have got the High Commissioner from Singapore. We have got the High Commissioner from Kenya. We have got the High Commissioner or representative of High Commissioner from Japan, representative of High Commissioner from China. We have got representative of High Commissioner from Indonesia. We have got MEC Mabungulu Ramakanya, MEC Razilani, MEC Kekana, MEC Maseko, MEC Mawai, MEC Dieketseng Mashiko, and the last born MEC Rachwen. We have got our last born in the MECs, is MEC Rachwen. We have got our mayors led by the executive mayor of Vembe district, Your Worship, Councillor Fridan Kondo, the local mayor, Your Worship, Councillor Vakoma Vorambuda, our speakers, our executive mayors from other districts, our speakers and chief whips. We also have the Vice Chancellor of the University of Venda, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Professor Joseph Francis, and Ndavezita Hosi Peningove, the chairperson of Limpopo House of Traditional Leaders, and all senior traditional leaders that are here, our CEOs, Chapter 9 institutions, business fraternity, ladies and gentlemen. Let me take this opportunity, it's very hot here, Honorable Premier. Let me take this opportunity to welcome on stage the Deputy Vice Chancellor of the University of Venda, Professor Joseph Francis, to come and welcome us. Can we acknowledge him as he comes? Arivatanganedzenga zwanda.
Program Director, allow me to stand here on the protocols that we have already observed. However, let me recognize our Premier, Dr. Poppy Ramatuba, the Deputy Minister of International Relations and Cooperation, Thandi Moraka. Ladies and gentlemen, I stand here today bestowed with the unique honor of representing the University of Venda, our People's University. Let me declare up front that today I'm wearing the shoes of our Vice Chancellor and Principal, Professor Ntambeleni, who is out of the country on an equally crucial university business. He, however, extends his most sincere gratitude for you for choosing our university as the host of this prestigious G20 roadshow to the people. It is with immense pride that I welcome you to this distinguished gathering. This roadshow, which is a product of the fruitful collaboration between the Office of the Premier of Limpopo Province and DECO, reaffirms this university's growing strategic role in local, regional, and global affairs. Today we gather here to engage in dialogue and reaffirm our commitment to nurturing inclusive economic growth, sustainable development, and international cooperation. At UNIVEN, we embraced a long time ago that a Lone Ranger approach will never achieve the desired results. Thus, we are striving to create future leaders, remaining student-centered, respecting and amplifying the voices of the diverse communities we serve, as we strive to become an entrepreneurial university. And at the same time, transform ourselves into reputable environmental stewards. In all these, colleagues, we recognize the centrality of internationalization and strong partnerships. This is why we embrace the indispensable role of collaboration, working hand in hand with government, civil society, the private sector, and the global community, so that we drive societal transformation and leadership for development. Our commitment to supporting the initiatives of our government at national, provincial, and local levels remains steadfast and unwavering. Thus, we treasure and produce graduates who are both locally relevant and globally competitive, and in the process creating a pool of young minds of integrity who can lead in various spheres with knowledge, innovation, and purpose. Our university resolutely stands on academic excellence, pioneering research, and people-centered community engagement. These pillars are fundamental to shaping future servant leaders and developing appropriate solutions to the complex societal issues that we face every time. Our academic staff, researchers, and students continue to be actively engaged in groundbreaking research aligned with grassroots community dreams, our province developmental goals, national priorities, and global imperatives. As they do this, they harness opportunities for resilience and growth. Let me now, Program Director, ladies and gentlemen, highlight that UNIVEN is both excited and privileged to host the G20 deliberations, which is a pivotal platform or forum that brings together global leaders and experts to confront some of the world's most urgent matters. Our excitement stems from the realization that our strategic thrusts as a university are closely aligned with the G20's key development priorities, which confirms that UNIVEN is ready to contribute meaningfully to the development agenda before us. The G20's emphasis on strengthening disaster resilience and response resonates with our commitment to environmental stewardship and combating climate change. The focus on mutual recognition of qualifications with internationalization agenda is also very crucial. This strengthens our global partnerships to enhance staff and student mobility whilst promoting African knowledge systems. The priority on mobilizing finance for a just energy transition complements our efforts in innovation-driven local economic development, particularly with respect to research in renewable energy, climate-smart agriculture, agro-processing, waste-to-energy solutions, and sustainable development. Moreover, the call to harness critical minerals for inclusive growth excites us because it supports our drive towards transformative education and capacity building, ensuring that our graduates are well equipped with the skills needed for an ever-changing global economy. In addition, Program Director, the emphasis on upskilling and retaining education professionals is directly aligned with our strategic focus on creating future leaders and enhancing the quality of teaching and learning through engaged scholarship. Colleagues, let us pause for a moment and remind each other that we are not here to merely talk, but rather to give birth to partnerships that will yield tangible benefits for the globalized society. In this regard, how ready are we to exchange knowledge that will help us shape policies and solutions for economic resilience, technological advancement, and sustainable societal renewal? Esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen, beyond this program, we look forward to further engagements at the cocktail function at Kalahari Waterfront and the International Women's Day breakfast at the Premier Hotel tomorrow. These occasions further reflect our collective commitment to constructing strategic partnerships and championing gender-sensitive and inclusive economic empowerment within the broader spectrum of global trade and investment. As we engage and connect, let us remember that a river is filled by many streams. This means that every contribution, every perspective, inclusive and prosperous, will yield an inclusive and prosperous future. Let us seize this opportunity to share insights, cement viable networks, and advance solutions that will leave that lasting societal impact we dream of every day. Once again, as I conclude, esteemed dignitaries and citizens of Limpopo province, feel warmly welcomed to UNIVEN, feel at home, immerse yourselves in the rich cultures and traditions, as well as the hospitality of our district and province. We are proudly in the Venda Biosphere Reserve. Please take time to navigate and enjoy its offerings. May this G20 Roadshow catalyze groundbreaking ideas and enduring partnerships that will improve the quality of lives of the people we serve. God bless you all, and thank you.
Thank you very much, Deputy Vice Chancellor. Those who are distributing water, vanokonekeza madingange murau ringadhi anekeza zvavudi risaiti posho. Madingange murau. We'll just request so that they can finalize the distribution of water there at the back. Vorambuani vatori jambu. Ruimbo nyana uchikonekedziwa madhi. Ruchipera oro ruimbo will be calling upon Ndavezita Hosi Peningove to come and give the message of support on behalf of the House.
Okay. Halala bembe, halala. Halala premier washu, halala. Halala the MEC washu, halala. Mikulungwane mifururu. Kaladori ish. Those who are from Venda, here in Limpopo, there is white man, is me. And the original one, not a photocopy. Ish, come there. Thank you for coming there. My chairperson is always the chairperson. Okay, azoita zvamukuwa zvingari chosaitana ape michini ndiya makuwa. Those who can stand up, can you stand up? Give me the microphone, give me the microphone. Yeah! Karuta Venda Swanda. Mifururi! Hey, Pira, Yonivan Gapi. Hey, Pira, Iangapi. Pira, Yangandia Morena. Ienda Farandia Yeso. Ienda Farandia Morena. Ienda Farandia Yeso. Swanda, come on! Oh! G20 Alala South Africa, alala. Alala President Ramaphosa, alala. Alala Premier Washu, alala. Can you do like this? Mea tiri na mutu, dirwa na satane. Atiri na mutu, dirwa na satane. Mea tiri na mutu, dirwa na satane. you there? Ish. Na tiri na mutu ni kama fama premier bachimba. Ah. Deputy Minister Machimba. Oh! Newe. Come on, the executive mayor washu. Nikulubane. Newe. Nikulubane. Richirari. Oh! Danke.
Ndabezit. Mipururu.
Ndabo MEC bo Program Director MEC Matibe. Honorable Premier, Honorable Deputy Minister, our MECs in the province, Maosi Ashu Bandabezita, Your Excellencies, the members of the Diplomatic Corps present here, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Professor Francis, our host mayor and our executive mayor, and all the mayors present here, members of the legislature, and all protocol observed. Honorable Premier, as the traditional leader, I would have preferred to speak in my language, which is Chivenda, Xitsonga, Sepedi, Xiswati in the province. But because this is an international event hosted by you through the Deputy Minister and with our potential investors around, I will not speak. I will just allow the Premier to do the honors to represent us as the province and as the provincial house. All what I'm here for, Honorable Premier, is to pledge our support as the House of Traditional Leaders and traditional leaders in general to this cause. Our understanding is that this is not a South African responsibility, but it's an African responsibility, because for the first time it is here in our motherland, Africa. And we hope that all the African states will support our president and our government in hosting this important event. However, Honorable Premier, me and you and your government, we are aware and we agree that Limpopo is more rural than any other province. And as such, our support and our request to you and the government in general, when it comes to Limpopo, we will prefer that our master plan for hosting the G20 activities must be rural bias. In that case, Honorable Premier, we will want to see the spin-off of the G20 after it has been hosted by our lovely country. And with those few words, Honorable Premier, we are saying as the House, we are available, we are able, we do have capacity, and we've got everything as leaders of our people to support this project. And we do want to commend the position that South Africa has taken by already showing the world that this will not be the first international event of this magnitude to have been successfully hosted by the democratic government of South Africa in this new dispensation. And the G20 will not be different. Honorable Premier, the last thing is that we do want and dearly want the foreign investment, including the foreign donors. But this must not come in the expense of us exchanging our sovereignty as a country, by donorship or any other kind. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can we put our hands together again to welcome the message of support? Thank you very much. Those who are on social media, we can do hashtag G20 South Africa, hashtag Rikaufela, hashtag G20 Outreach Programme. If we use those hashtags for today, it will be very good. Hashtag G20 South Africa, hashtag Rikaufela, hashtag G20 Outreach. Thank you very much, Ndavezita, for the wonderful message of support. We want to make sure that all our traditional dances or performing groups are ready. Rinamalende Abono, Rinaskapa Sereni, UNIVEN dance. Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay. Ridowa vidza nga mrahu, rothoma ra vidza last born, MEC Raj.
Thanks very much, Program Director, Chairman, MEC Matibe. Mipororo. Realebo. Honorable Premier, Dr. Popi Ramathuba, the first female premier of the Limpopo provincial government since the dawn of democracy. Deputy Minister of International Relations and Cooperations, Thandi Moraka, all MECs present here, traditional leaders, Maaparangwe, Arenalo, Onamo, Votovele, and their councils and mayors, Vice Chancellor of the University of Venda, members of Limpopo Provincial Legislature present here, esteemed members of the diplomatic corps, distinguished guests, academics, and good afternoon. Khotso, it is an honor and privilege to stand before you today as we gather for this important G20 Community Outreach Programme, an initiative that not only brings the global conversation closer to our people, but also reinforces the role of young people, academia, and local communities in shaping international diplomacy and cooperation. The program is a significant milestone in our collective efforts to ensure that the benefits of multilateral engagements are felt beyond high-level government discussions and into the daily lives of our ordinary citizens, particularly the youth who represent the future of our nation. Today, we engage not just in dialogue, but in a meaningful exchange of ideas that will contribute to the building a stronger South Africa, a more integrated Africa, and a world driven by shared prosperity, peace, and sustainable development. Ladies and gentlemen, our esteemed guest today needs no introduction. She is a leader who has demonstrated unwavering commitment to the empowerment of young, pivotal role in ensuring that South Africa's foreign policy remains people-centered and aligned with the country's developmental objectives. Her work within the Department of International Relations and Cooperation continues to emphasize the importance of South Africa's engagement in multilateral forums such as G20, BRICS, and the African Union, where we champion the interest of developing nations and advocate for a just and equitable world order. Deputy Minister Moraka's leadership is particularly inspiring to young people in institutions such as this, as she embodies the very essence of transforming hard work. Her presence today here speaks to the government's commitment to ensuring that young people are not just spectators in the participants in shaping policies that affects their future. As we navigate challenge the ANC Youth League and a former MEC in the Limpopo provincial government.
Thank you very much, Program Director, and the MEC for that detailed introduction that you have made. Her Excellency, the Honorable, the Premier of Limpopo Province, Dr. Thohoyandou, Venda, who's here representing the chairperson of the House of Traditional Leadership and the Khoisan leaders, Ndabesita Peningove, and other leaders of various royal councils that we have in the province, members of the Executive Council of Limpopo, who have really graced this occasion, Honorable Premier. I've seen several of them, from the MEC of Education, Madam, the first principal of this province, the MEC of Arts and Culture, the MEC of Amapiano, MEC Maseko, MEC of Health, and the MEC of Treasury, Mr. Mahwai, and the MEC of Social Development, Me Florence Razilani, MEC of Agriculture, Menakedi Sibande Kikana, and the young man who has just introduced me, the MEC of Dikherekhere in the province, MEC Rachweni. Indeed, Honorable Premier, the Executive Council of Limpopo can sit here now and take drastical decisions because there is a quorum. Can we clap hands for them? The Executive Mayor of Venda District Municipality, Councillor Frida Nkondo, and the entire council of the Venda District Municipality that is here with us. I've also seen the Executive Mayor of Capricorn District Municipality, my sister Councillor Mamidou Pitefu. You can see that it's hot in Venda. You should do the rest and bring the rain here in this part of the province. The councillors and mayors of other municipalities who are here, I've seen the mayor of Thulamela, I've seen the mayor of Makado, I've seen the mayor of Musina, I've seen the mayor of Blowberg. So So indeed, the whole province of Limpopo is here. Your Excellencies, ambassadors, and high commissioners who have came all the way from the capital city of South Africa, Pretoria, to come and grace this occasion. I've seen the High Commissioner of Singapore, who's really a resident of Limpopo, Honorable Premier. I've also seen the representative from the Japan Embassy, the Kenya Embassy that is here with us. We have also seen a representative from Germany, who is also here with us. Really, indeed, we are honored to have China as well, that is here representing the ambassador of China. We have seen Senegal as well is in the house. Indeed, Limpopo today is meeting with the rest of the global community through these embassies. Can we clap hands for them? Members of the provincial legislature who have really graced this opportunity. Honorable members, I won't mention you individually. I've seen my mother, Honorable Masihela, my sister, Honorable Nkakarin Rakhwale, and all of you comrades and honorable members. I really honor your presence here. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the media who are here, our various heads of departments who are here also from the level of technical services of our provincial government. I've also seen CEOs and representatives of our state-owned enterprises, SOEs that are here, and really we honor all of you. But most importantly, let me take this opportunity to acknowledge the Vice Chancellor from the University of Venda, that is here represented by the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Professor Joseph Francis, and the entire management of this institution. We really honor you. We also want to acknowledge the presence of our various student formations that have came all the way to come and support us. Can we clap hands for our students? We are the future. No one can stop us. That is the future of Limpopo right there, Honorable Premier. Indeed, Honorable Premier, I'm really pleased to be visiting the Venda district in the province of Limpopo province for my very first G20 Community Outreach Programme. Indeed, this is a symbolic gesture for me that we are commencing our visit in a town whose name denotes a fountain of life, which is Thulamela. Can we clap hands for the people of this area? Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, this is really captured beautifully in the Venda saying that says, and I quote, "Vembe yo arama, yo era, yo beba vana vayo." In essence, let me translate to my heads of missions that are here. Vembe River has laid wide like an ocean, flowing and giving rise to its children, close quotes. That's what that Venda saying was really meaning. There is really, some of you may have been aware that South Africa has officially assumed its presidency of the Group of 20, which is G20 from the 1st of December 2024. Following the presidency of that G20 that was held by Brazil in the previous years, we will hold this presidency of South Africa of the G20 until the 30th of November 2025. Indeed, Honorable Premier, let me echo the sentiments of our Honorable President, President Cyril Ramaphosa, when he said that this is a time in our own history where an African country is presiding over this august bloc of politically and economically developed and developing countries in the world, wherein indeed it is happening for the first time on our soil in the continent of Africa. I also want to urge all of you as various citizens of our province that you are all presidents of the G20. Can we clap hands for that? Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the G20 comprises both of the developing and the developed countries considered to be the largest economies in the world. South Africa is the only African country that is a permanent member of the G20, sitting alongside countries such as China, the United Kingdom, France, Canada, Germany, and the United States of America, Brazil, India, Indonesia, Japan, Italy, and many other members of the G20. We have Russia and Turkey, Mexico, Korea, Saudi Arabia, Argentina, and Australia forming the bloc of the group of 20. Furthermore, we have seen the new entrances into that bloc, wherein we have recently been joined by the European Union and also the African Union, who have now recently been added into that group. Ladies and gentlemen, together the G20 represent approximately 85% of the world's GDP. That in essence meaning that 75% of the world trade and around 2/3 of the world's population, you can easily find it within the G20 member states. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the bloc's agenda now includes areas where we need to cooperate on, such as trade, and also areas where we need to drive sustainable development programs within the health sector, agriculture sector, energy sector, and climate change issues, and also working together to fight corruption within our various independent states. As a result of all these responsibilities, ladies and gentlemen, decisions that are taken by the group of 20 have a direct impact on the lives of all our members of the global community. I thought I needed to emphasize that because many people don't understand what the G20 seeks to achieve and what it stands for. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, therefore the G20 is a relevant and very important platform for our country, South Africa, to pursue its national interest, also continental interest, and also pursue multilateral interest within that very same multilateral body that we lead. Yo, the sweat is getting on my eyes. Ladies and gentlemen, at a national level, South Africa's presidency seeks to address 3 strategic priorities of the government of national unity. I don't need a fan. Get me a tissue, Chief. Oh. At a continental level, program director, we also need to advance our South-to-South relations as a country of South Africa and make it a point that we ensure that our G20 presidency continues to shine the spotlight on the African continent, wherein we need to drive our Agenda 2063 without any fail. And we also need to build the Africa that we want. In that, ladies and gentlemen, we need to champion the aspiration and the interest of the developing world in general, especially countries of the global south, as you know that they are the most affected by certain multilateral decisions that we continue to take. The interest of the developing world includes achieving the UN agenda that speaks about Sustainable Development Goals, which is abbreviated as the SDGs, on areas of food and energy security, on areas of having to industrialize our economies, and also make it a point that we increase trade and investment amongst our respective countries to support our individual economies so that we can grow and be able to create the much needed jobs, and also embark on social security programs wherein our people must live together in an equal world. Program director, we also are going to be focusing on financial and technical support that we need as members of the group of 20 to address deep challenges in the capabilities of our individual countries that we represent. We all know that inequality and poverty continues to affect our respective constituencies. So here is an opportunity, Ndabezitha, to really work together with you and grow our individual society that we lead. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, at a multilateral level, South Africa seeks to create consensus around strengthening and reforming the international financial architecture, which is abbreviated as IFA, and notably the multilateral development banks that we continue to depend on from time to time as countries, as we go there requesting for loans that are going to help us to develop our individual economies. The G20 is a platform to mobilize for predictable, sustainable, and low-cost financing instruments wherein we need to drive sustainable development in our own countries. Honorable Premier, at this level, South Africa is also advancing critical minerals, wherein we need to come up with innovative ways on how we can industrialize our individual economies. And these critical minerals in the country of South Africa are found here in the province of Limpopo. So it doesn't really make sense to some of us when we continue to see these levels of inequality in a province that we always regard as a province that is endowed with mineral resources. So we have to work together with these heads of missions that are here, Honorable Premier, so that we can be able to industrialize our economy of the province of Limpopo, because we all know that the GDP of the province of Limpopo, its main contributors is around issues of agriculture, tourism, and mining. So, Your Excellencies, you are not lost to find yourselves in this hour in a heated province like Limpopo, because there's a lot that you can do here in terms of helping us to strengthen our trade and bilateral relationship with the country of South Africa. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, South Africa's G20 presidency also aims to champion an inclusive framework that ensures resource-rich nations and communities in provinces like Limpopo can benefit equally from their mineral wealth that they continue to have. So, Honorable Premier, we have taken a decisive decision that this G20 of the South African people must never happen only in urban areas. We have taken that decisive decision that we also need to go in those rural parts of our country, and Limpopo is one of them. Hence, I'm here starting at home in the province of Limpopo. The G20 of South Africa is being held under the theme Solidarity, Equality, and Sustainability. A theme, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, that seeks to harness global will and capabilities to confront enormous challenges that the world of today continues to face. In the midst of global geopolitical tensions and rising protectionist agenda, South Africa's G20 presidency will champion cooperation, collaboration, and partnerships between individual states, individual groups, and individual nations that will be participating in this important multilateral forum that we are going to be hosting as a country. Under the principle of Ubuntu, we are reminded again of the interconnectedness of humanity. And it is in this principle of Ubuntu that underpins South Africa's leadership and vision for its presidency of the G20. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, strengthening partnerships and expanding dialogue with a wide range of actors is important to collectively shape the G20 approach on issues that are requiring our international cooperation, all of us. South Africa will therefore host the G20 Social Summit, where MEC Maseko needs to start working on prior to the Leaders Summit by expanding outreach programs to communities beyond the 13 official G20 engagement groups that we have. In essence, ladies and gentlemen, we want to see our villages being at the center of driving our G20 presidency. So, Honorable Premier, as you are going to be presenting various budgets of your individual departments, don't approve any budget that does not include the involvement and the development of our communities under the G20 presidency of South Africa. Because we believe that it is only through that approach that we can be able to leave a legacy for the G20 presidency of South Africa. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, in addition to many ministers and the heads of states and governments of more than 40 countries, they will also attend the Leaders Summit that will happen in November 2025, wherein we are going to be hosting it in Johannesburg in the province of Gauteng. The G20 presidency is without any doubt indeed a mammoth task to us as the 7th administration of the government of South Africa, and also it will require considerable personnel and personnel resource allocation that we need, because most accounts in this largest national project that South Africa has been given an opportunity to lead will really depend on the agility of our personnel in various departments to really achieve that solidarity and equality and sustainable development that we seek to achieve in line with the theme of the G20 presidency of South Africa. Indeed, Program Director, the 2010 World Cup boosted the economic growth in South Africa by 0.4% that we have registered since the hosting of that 2010 World Cup, wherein we have seen, Honorable Premier, almost 38 billion being brought to our own GDP as a country during the hosting of that 2010 World Cup. In addition to the immediate boost of visitors that came to South Africa immediately after the World Cup. And in essence, we want to urge our people who are in the tourism space to start making packages for this G20 presidency, so that even beyond our presidency of the G20, we can continue to receive visitors to our beautiful country of South Africa. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, ultimately we are confident that working with the people of South Africa, we will deliver a successful, a positive and a progressive G20 presidency which drives consensus on issues that are pertinent in the developing economies and also in general, the African continent in particular, because you know that this G20 presidency is happening for the first time in the continent of Africa. Program Director, as I move towards conclusion, I also want to say the following, that South Africa's journey has been one of a tremendous resilience, precisely because we have embraced a spirit of collaboration, partnership, and cooperation with the rest of the global community. Let us continue to embrace this spirit of working together throughout our G20 presidency and beyond. In that, Honorable Premier, I want to say that let us hold each other's hands and make it a point that we deliver a most progressive and a memorable G20 presidency for the people of South Africa, and be able to equip our people both economically and otherwise, so that we can be able to walk the journey with the people of South Africa. We want to assure you, Honorable Premier, that those heads of states, as they will be coming here in November, they want to find you ready. We are telling them that they must adopt our rural areas, they must also adopt our townships and other villages that we have in the country, because indeed this G20 is for the people of South Africa. And as they adopt our villages and the townships, we must make it a point that we leave a lasting legacy in the local economy of those respective villages and townships where those heads of governments and heads of nations will be adopting. As I conclude, Program Director, I want to thank all of you, and I want to urge you to say to your neighbor that congratulations on you being the president of the G20. Can we do that? We believe that, ladies and gentlemen, you live up to that expectation of being president of the G20. Hakensa Program Director Ndoribuwa Kialebuwa Baya Danki, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, DM Rolibuangamanda. I didn't know that I'm the president of G20 until now. Thank you very much. Vamalende vadova vakova ready, rido humbela vo Nyamuofe, Luruli Ramakanya, vadengeno. Arriva rele zanda vo Nyamuofe vakodangeno.
Leading the struggle with nothing in your hands can bring confusion in the family.
Abato babachi va ready anefo. Okay.
I have to adjust the mic, DM. Masiari. Thank you so much, Program Director, the Honorable MEC, our Chairman, Honorable Matibe. Let me take this time and stand on the protocol that has been established, but also sufficient to acknowledge the presence of our Honorable Premier, our Honorable Deputy Minister, who we had an opportunity to serve together in the ANC Youth League when I was Deputy Chair of the province. She was also Deputy Secretary of the province. Let me also take this time and appreciate all the honorable colleagues, MECs that are here, but also to acknowledge all the executive mayors, our mayors, honorable speakers, honorable chief whips, and honorable councillors who are here, who part of them is the chairperson of the ANC Women's League, the executive mayor of Capricorn. Let me also stand on the protocol as established when we were acknowledging the excellencies, the high commissioners, and also members of the diplomatic corps who are here with us, and also appreciate the leadership of the university through Professor Joseph Francis. And I want to also say to all the people who are here, students and members of the community, Di Masiari. We cannot be a complete society if I have not acknowledged the chairperson of the provincial house and all the other royal leadership who are being led by Hosingove. Program Director, my task is very brief. I want to present a leader who has been born in a country which transformation and equality has been a program that was started in 1912. It gave birth to a democratic country in 1994 with our first president, which was Tata Mandela, who immediately when he assumed office, He fought for integration and education for all. And today, our leader that I'm presenting to you that is going to come has been a beneficiary of that program. Then when she was a young person, she understood the struggle and advocated for the change of, for the education of the young minds. She herself went through the process of school and became a leader in the SASCO to lead and champion the programs of student politics and advancement of accessibility of education to all young people as a leader in SASCO. When she graduated, she went to a workplace. When she graduated as a medical professional, she went to a workplace and she became a CEO. And even there, she believed equality and transformation has not been reached. And she then joined the struggle for advancement of equality and transformation at a workplace and became a leader of the workers and the union that is an affiliate to COSATU. With that, she lived in a society that believed that socialism should happen in our lifetime. And she was delegated to be a leader in the South African Communist Party as a treasurer, and she is currently a leader of the South African Communist Party in the province as the deputy chairperson. She lives and leads a society that is under the leadership of the African National Congress, who again and again seeks to identify the potential of those that have understood transformation, that again and again seeks to look for leaders that knows about advancement of the people in their own communities to champion the change and the economic status of their own lives. She lives and leads in a society that believes that victory can happen and each one of us can reach the potential of our own emancipation. And with that, the African National Congress then delegated her, who currently she has been a PEC member of the African National Congress, and currently she is a PEC, PWC, and the convener of deployees in the Sekhukhune district. The struggle for gender emancipation and liberation has been a program of the ANC all along. And our democratic government, until they publicly declared that every gender can lead equally, both in families, communities, and in boardrooms where decisions are taken. With that, she was delegated in the 5th administration and the 6th administration to be the MEC of Health in the Limpopo province. And now, currently, I am proud to say, after 30 years of democracy in South Africa, Limpopo has received its own first woman premier, and I want to invite her as we all rise, and we are going to invite the praise singer to usher her to the stage. That is our Honorable Premier, Dr. Poppy Ramathuba. We may rise to receive her as the praise singer is joining her.
Our mother nation, the voice to the voiceless, a true leader, a politician who believes in freedom. As matiko hinkwavu kunanganisa, uyinikisa tinhloko la ufambaka kona, bakhisa mayansi, na tihosi tineneta ku praise, baku shanayi wansati wa ka mani loyi. Ndzi vulavula hi Dr. Poppy, a true leader, wansati wa le Limpopo. You are a hero, our mother nation, a voice to the voiceless. Halala, Poppy, halala. Halala, mother of the nation, halala. Uyimerlenga silangusanga, Limpopo yime yininginika. Wansati wasungula kunene, ayimaku zita mirangela. Hakunene hisaka na wena mama loko ku ri mina ndzi nghena evugingi ndzi giyamgila mugimeti yanga se na gimeti bindapka ndzi ta le exifundzenikulu xa Limpopo ndzi vula kona kwala dorobeninkulu ra Giyani etikweni ra Kankuri ndzi n'wana Jackson wa mugobani wa mbazi mani va ku tlhokola mikona va khalanga va tlhokola hi swimusani ndzi xawetile
Masha. Masha. Masha.
Masha Rolibu.
Masha. Masha Bono. Masha.
Rolibua kariba rwele zwanḓa na mifhululu. Vha kha ḓi ḓo tshina ṅwaha hoyu woṱhe ngauri G20 ndi yone namusi ro lontsha mara vha kha ḓi ḓo vhuya. So program director, the MEC Vho Tshiṱereke Matibe, thank you very much. Our Deputy Minister of International Relations and Cooperation, Thandi Moraka, we really appreciate the fact that you are launching this outreach in your province of birth. It will go down in history that indeed wa rumega re lo ruma kwa nationally wa se re lebale. Thank you very much. Our members of the diplomatic corps, we want to appreciate your presence here. I'm sure by now you are enjoying the province, especially when you experience this heat. Because I know for you, it's not just the heat. I'm sure as you are experiencing this heat, you're asking yourself, why should we have load shedding? Why should we have this load reduction when we have got such an abundance of this natural resource? I see when I'm looking at you, you are thinking of this first opportunity to come and invest in our province and eradicate load shedding through new renewable energies. Because what we think is a problem, to you is an opportunity. And you will go and tell your investors there to say there is a huge opportunity there by Limpopo, far north. To all our MECs who are here, it's only one MEC, Deputy Minister, who has apologized, and the reason is because he was called by the Lutuli House, and those are our employers. Otherwise, all our MECs suspended their programs because they understand the importance of G20. Not only are the MECs, but you have seen the members of legislature. They are here in numbers. You have seen them. They also suspended their own outreach, their own oversight visits responsibility, because they understand the importance of this particular outreach. So we want to appreciate, because they've always been supportive to our government. They know what is at stake if we don't work together as the member of legislature and the executive. The people who will suffer are our own people, our own citizens of Limpopo. Of course, our executive mayors, there are two executive mayors, our sister from Capricorn District, which is where the city is, and also the hosting executive mayor. Mayors of our local municipalities, I'm not going to mention them because I've seen even those who are coming outside of Bembe. Indeed, Ndabezita, our chairperson, our father who chairs the House of Traditional and Khoisan Leaders in our province, Hosi Peningove, we are simply telling you that you are not going to have problems if you identify areas where your investors will want to invest, because Ndabezita is here to welcome you. Limpopo province, it's more than 80% rural, meaning more than 80% of the population are led by a traditional leader. So without the support of our traditional leaders, we are not going to succeed in hosting our G20 summit. So Ndabezita, amikesa, amilosa. He's not alone. He's got other traditional leaders, especially from this particular area of the Venda district. We have also seen our government officials. We do have our HODs. We have got our DDGs. We equally have the business communities that is here. We have got distinguished guests. We have got our state-owned entities, management and leadership. And most importantly, we equally have got community from Vembe district here in Thulamela municipality. Rena badzulapo, bodzulaho hange murahu bototokomelwa, bachiko thetshelesa uri na i G20 ndi mini echi chitu chine ra chipfa bo president bo Ramaphosa u chipfi ndi president yacho chishuma u ita mini tsho ri disela mini. They are all here in their numbers. They do not care about the heat, but they want to see you, Deputy Minister, and appreciate the work that you are doing for our province. Members of the media, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is a great privilege for me to stand before you today as we welcome the esteemed members of the diplomatic corps, government officials, business leaders, and all distinguished guests to this historic occasion, the first ever G20 community outreach to be held not only in our province, but in our continent. Because all these other community outreach that the DM is going to conduct, they would be coming after the Limpopo one. So we are making history today. That's why we are really appreciating, because we are the people of history. And all these other ones, they will come and benchmark how did Limpopo manage to host its own. So we want to appreciate for that. We are saying program directors, it is with also great honor at the same time and pride that we find ourselves having to welcome esteemed guests from across the world. We've already heard that our diplomatic representatives are here, whether it's South Korea, whether it's Japan, whether it's Singapore, whether it's China, whether it's Senegal, whether it's Niger, whether it's Germany, whether it's Indonesia, and all those that I might not have mentioned. But we are saying, bo tanganedzwa le amogetswe ro ba tanganedza me amokeriwile ha mi khensa ha mi losa. I know the one from Singapore, he understands, he will interpret. He was already talking with me in Chipedi, so I know he will interpret. Your presence here is not just a demonstration to the growing significance of our province in the national and also in the global economic landscape, but it is also a reflection of commitment to bring international conversation closer to the people and as a testament to the power of collaboration, including the importance of bringing global conversations to our local communities. So this engagement is an opportunity to strengthen ties, advance collaboration, as the Deputy Minister has already indicated, and to ensure that global economic policies translate into meaningful opportunities for local communities. It's not going to assist to hear at the end of the year that Limpopo was part of those provinces that hosted certain critical and strategic meetings for G20 when Tubonya Mukamadi, she is still unemployed, she still does not have water, she still does not have electricity. To her, it will be meaningful if the basic services, if we go and boast that our economic growth is now starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. It will be meaningful to her when she starts to see her young graduate who is currently unemployed beginning to get a job, because we shall have industrialized our economy post this particular hosting of G20. So for me, it is also a symbolic gesture, a recognition of the role that provinces like ours, Limpopo, play in shaping the broader economic landscape of South Africa and the African continent. We are truly honored to host this prestigious gathering, and once more, we continuously and we will do that up until you leave to extend our warmest welcome to all of you. So, Program Director, there is something profoundly captivating about this town we are at, Thohoyandou, the soul of Vembe, a land where ancient wisdom and modern aspirations meet. This is the place where the echoes of great kings still linger in the winds that sweep through the sacred Venda mountains. It is a land of poets. It is a land of philosophers. This is a land of artisans and a land of visionaries, a land of warriors who stood firm in the face of adversity, and a land of leaders who shaped history with their own wisdom. This is Thohoyandou. The very name Thohoyandou speaks of resilience and leadership, a tribute to our legendary king, King Thohoyandou, ine uviwa yasala muvioni ngeno mtumbu chiahai, who united his people and built a nation of strength and a nation of purpose. Today, as we gather in this remarkable town, we add another chapter to its rich legacy, welcoming for the first time in Limpopo's history the G20 Community Outreach. Limpopo is a province defined by its economic dynamism and strategic importance. It is an agricultural powerhouse, a global player in citrus, in avocados, in macadamia nuts, and also maize production, feeding both our nation, not just Limpopo, not just South Africa, but equally international markets. So you can tell them at home, if they were hungry, hunger, it's gone. Limpopo, it's in the picture now. Our fertile lands and hardworking farmers make Limpopo the heart of South Africa's food security. Therefore, Program Director, beyond agriculture, we must also remind our guests that Limpopo boasts a thriving tourism sector enriched by our heritage and our natural wonders. Our province is the home to the ancient Mapungubye, a UNESCO World Heritage Site that tells a story of an African kingdom that once traded with the world. It also tells you of the iconic Kruger National Park, a sanctuary that draws global visitors eager to witness the beauty of Africa's wildlife. So don't leave this part of Limpopo without visiting both Mapungubye and Kruger National Park. These are not just the sites for cultural and natural significance, but they are engines of our economic growth, fostering job creation and rural development. Mining remains a critical pillar of our economy, with Limpopo's rich mineral deposits making significant contribution to South Africa's industrialization. However, we are deeply conscious of the need for sustainable mining practices that balance economic progress with environmental responsibility. Hence, we are telling you that the sun is here for you. Our vision is to ensure that the wealth beneath our soil translates into long-term benefits for the people of Limpopo, driving industrializations, skills development, and local business opportunity. As the only African nation represented in the G20, South Africa carries a profound responsibility in ensuring that the voices of developing economies, particularly those in Africa, are heard on the global stage. The G20's focus on the economic growth, on trade, on investment, on climate action, and on digital transformation resonates deeply with our development priorities in Limpopo. We do understand that global economic policies have real, tangible effects on the lives of ordinary people, and it is our duty to ensure that these policies translate into meaningful opportunities for our communities. So, Honorable Deputy Minister, this G20 community outreach, for us, it will remain more than just a formal engagement. For us, it is a bridge between the international policy and our local realities. For us, it's an opportunity for our business community, especially focusing on the young people and also women and people with disability and all our entrepreneurs to engage with global economic conversation and position themselves to benefit from South Africa's role in the G20. Therefore, we urge to all our local business, seize this moment, the trade and investment opportunity that come with our province strategical location and economic potential. We again calling upon on the young people. Who see yourself as the future leaders in diplomacy. We see yourself as future leaders in business and also in government. Therefore, we are encouraging all of you to actively participate in shaping these policies that will drive Limpopo's growth. I always tell Baswa, uri aranisa the genisi, kahaya mapungo, au sika milayo, nalichela rine, vane buvoashundikuro, buyonditsini. Life expectancy, it's 68 for women in this province. Therefore, it means where we are going, it's closer than where we are coming from. You can't leave us on our own to develop policies and legislations that will affect you as the young people. So use these opportunities to be active citizens and participate, and this is it is also your problem. Let's shy away from that notion which keep on saying you are the future. I say to you, you are the present and the future. Ningasitendera rine rinokoya mindendeni, richinitela milayo, ine ya doda ya busabe iwe machero. Limpopo is open for business, and as such, we are hopeful that this engagement will present an opportunity for deeper collaboration between government, business, and our international partners. As we continue to invest in infrastructure, in education, and in industrialization, we are again once more inviting the global community to be part of Limpopo's growth story. We are committed to fostering an environment where international investors find a home, where small businesses can thrive, and where economic transformation reaches every corner of our province. This is not just about economic transaction. It is about building the lasting partnership that create sustainable development. Therefore, Program Director, today marks a turning point in how Limpopo positions itself within the global economic framework. As we look ahead, let us embrace the spirit of innovation, the spirit of collaboration, and that of ambition. The Deputy Minister has already whispered to me that we are going to be fortunate to be hosting a number and a series of meetings, focusing one on agriculture. The Minister has already written to us to request the Limpopo to host that particular meeting of chief agriculturalist scientists. And I can tell you, our MEC for Agriculture, Menake Venda, has already reported to me that they are busy with preparation for that meeting. The deputy minister has already received. Deputy minister has already indicated again to me that we are also going to be hosting another meeting, strategical one on health in Polokwane. I am glad the executive mayor of Capricorn is here. The work must start to prepare for that particular meeting. Because the fact of the matter is that you can't build an economy when your nation is not healthy. You need a healthy nation to be able to build your economy. Therefore, this meeting will also assist us to start learning new ways on accelerating healthcare delivery, especially to our rural areas. I'm also told that the chief scientist and innovation meetings will be held in Hoedspruit, Maruleng. We are also ready, where MEC Matibe has already confirmed to me that preparation work is in progress to make sure that we are ready to host you in Maruleng. You must go to that area. If you really want to see beauty, go to Maruleng. The only area which I'm not happy, Deputy Minister, it's my region, where me and you comes from, where, you know, our excellency, there is a region called Waterberg. That is where God was situated when he created this gender called female. He was there in Waterberg. So as you will be driving back, don't use the airport this time around. Use N1 and try to visit a Waterberg. You will see the beauty of why women are so beautiful. It's because God was inspired by that particular area. I don't know, and my MEC always asks me this question, the female MEC, actually, what inspired God to create a man? Because we know what inspired God to create a woman was that particular, the beauty of Waterberg. For men, we don't know. God needs to be. He didn't get any inspiration. He just continued. But you know, you can see for yourself. Look at a woman sitting next to you, how complicated that body and that structure is. You needed some inspiration as God to create this particular gender. So go, you will see for yourself. But otherwise, even when you live here, when we talk of the big five in this country, in this particular area, in this province, we speak of big six. The sixth one is the biggest baobab tree that there is no way you can leave before you visit. If you can't today, tomorrow after breakfast, it's just 45 minutes drive, you will see what we are talking about. If you have more time, you can further go down to Mapungubye. But equally, we still have got the PPD waterfalls that are around. We still have the Pusu-Pusu, that Zimauri also. We still have got a number of cultural and heritage. But sometimes you need to speak to Hosi Peningobe before you enter Ziponi or some areas which have got our own. MEC is here, I forgot. MEC for Sports, Arts and Culture, he's here. He will be able to guide you as to which area will require you to first go and do some rituals before you enter. Otherwise, you might not come back. I tried to argue, me and the MEC for Education, you see the one who's dressed nicely, the one who's representing G20, you saw her with her beautiful colors. we argue with these other ones because we also come from the Communist Party. There are these things, are these ritual existing, but these are idealistic ideas. They say they do exist. So please be safe so that you don't listen to me and her. Just do as the MEC for Sports, Arts and Culture says and follow the rituals before you visit, but make sure you do that. Program Director, I want to say to all our diplomats that one of the most reverend figures in our society, our father of democracy, President Nelson Mandela once said, open quote, "Overcoming poverty is not a gesture of charity. It is an act of justice. It is the protection of a fundamental human right, the right to dignity and a decent life." He was very spot on. And we're saying this month in our country, it's a human rights month. And we believe that ordinary people who are still languishing in poverty have not yet experienced the freedom that others are until such time we fight poverty. And we believe that this G20 mission will be able to champion economic inclusivity and fostering the trade and investment, therefore driving sustainable development which will end our poverty. They remind us that eradicating poverty is not merely an act of goodwill, but a moral and economic imperative. As we engage in global partnership, we must remain committed to building a world that is not only prosperous, but also just and equitable for all. We must never have peace. We must never sleep peacefully as long as our neighbors are still sleeping in hunger. We must never have peace as long as in other parts of this world there's still war. We must never have peace as global leaders as long as there is still a child who doesn't have access to education, as long as there are still children who don't have access to immunization, who dies of preventable disease, as long as we still have children who dies of malnutrition. We must never have peace. How do you sleep peacefully when kids are dying out of preventable disease? So let this be the beginning of a new era of global partnership where Limpopo stands